pull the whole thing down. I'm gonna bring the whole fucking diseased, corrupt temple down on your head. It's gonna be biblical.
Here we are again, Patriots Across the Pond, episode 4. Sorry, and Frens, episode 4, with Elisa, and today we've got JP. How are you guys?
Doing great.
We're doing awesome. Happy
Beautiful.
to be here.
Great. Well, JP, we've just had a little chat backstage very briefly, but I think the show is going to be called today, the beginning, the love and the contact. And like I say, on the Tuesdays, we like to sit back and let you do your thing. So whatever you want to talk about, you talk about. And if we can fire any questions in at you during, I think we will.
Yes, sir.
It's good to see you again, JP. We were just last month at the New York Awakening Summit, and I was pretty blown away by your presentation and everything that you've experienced. So I can't wait for Stu to hear it and for everybody else to hear it out there.
For sure, Lisa. Thank you for having me here. It's a great pleasure being here.
Our honor.
It's amazing how things are moving on with this beautiful administration, you know. So there's going to be a lot of things happening that is going to shock the nations around the world, because, you know, this is the best nation in the whole world. So let's rock and roll.
Okay.
What's your background, JP? Are you ex-military?
Well, I'm ex-military. I retired last year. I was stationed here in Eglin Air Force Base. I was at 91 Juliet Airborne Trooper. I was stationed here in the airborne unit. So I dealt with water purification systems. You know, when you go to war or you go to do other type of missions, you need water to drink. So that was my specialty.
Yeah.
I worked in Nasquias as well. I did a couple months over there in the NASA base. So yeah, I seen a lot of things. That, you know.
Interesting to say the least, right?
Yeah, interesting. A lot of interesting things that I have seen and have experienced.
I first became familiar. Oh, I'm sorry, Stu. I first became familiar with you as a guest on the Michael Sala show.
Mm.
And that's how I became familiar with you and your missions and things that you've done, experienced, witnessed, etc. And I think that at this point now you are spreading the word beyond Michael Sala's show, and now, you know, telling more people about what you have seen. And I would love for you to sort of just give your story, you know, the way you beautifully did when we were together, about how you've had experiences, like contact experiences and things like that. And so we would say, unless you have a question, Stu, like that, just begin at the beginning, really.
Yeah. No, the only thing I wanted to say was I can't wait to hear all the things you're going to say, the things you are allowed to talk about.
Yeah, for the security of this beautiful nation, I can't go into more details. They told me to go dark on certain things,
Of course.
so I can't just speak out on certain things. But I could tell you at the beginning, yeah. Before I joined the military, I lived in Tampa, Florida, by MacDill Air Force Base, and I was married. I'm married to a Brazilian woman. She's beautiful, and she got here legal. She did everything legally. She did not do anything like bad, and I married her, and she got her green card. She became a US citizen, and we have kids and all that. She is a pastor and a chaplain in the United States. So I'm really happy for that. And she sings beautiful. She was the first Brazilian to sing for a presidential candidate here in the United States of America. So that's another thing that it's beautiful for my wife. And, I met my wife, and then she said, "Oh, you have to meet my parents." So, I was in the military. So I said, "Okay, let's go to Brazil." So we went to Brazil. We went in the center of Brazil. It's called Brasilia. Is right by Goiânia. It's the farmlands of Brazil. So when you picture this state in Brazil, it's like Texas. Okay, this is like Texas. Cows. We got cornfields. We got a lot of things. No light pollution. You can see the constellations and all that. So I got there to Brazil to meet her parents, and her parents, it's a hotel family. So I kind of hit the jackpot. She never told me she owned hotels in Brazil. So I was like, oh my God, what's going on here? So they brought me to the hotel, and then she's like, "Oh yeah, this is my dad's hotel." I'm like, "What? What are you talking about? You own a hotel?" So yeah, I didn't want to tell you because if I told you, I would think you like me because of that. I'm like, no, 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 I love you so much. So they took me to a farm because over there, when they take you to a farm, it's to eat. They do churrasco, they do rice and beans, they do a lot of different dishes that is, I love to eat. So, so we went to the farm, and then the second day, sleeping in the farm at 3 o'clock in the morning, I see this flash outside the farm, and I'm like, "What the heck is that?" Everybody's sleeping. I'm the only one awake. And I'm like, "What the heck is that?" So I open the door and I start walking in the field. And I see this flashing bluish light just flashing the size of a minivan. You can see in the distant by a creek. And I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go towards it, and I don't know what's gonna happen to me, but let's see what happens. So when I get close to this thing, it's a unidentified flying objects, what we call right now UAPs, UFOs. It was floating on the air, and it was the size of a triangular, not sharp edges, but it was like rounded. And I approach it and I start touching it. And when I touch it, the hairs of my body started going up, and I felt this metallic, like if you had like pennies in your mouth or a metallic something in your mouth. I know everybody when they were young they put a penny in their mouth, so I closed my eyes, I opened my eyes, and I was back in the farm, and you can see my footprints walking back. So I kept that quiet because I come from a Christian background family. You know, they're all pastors in Brazil, an Assembly of God, and I was actually there also preaching. Because I go to church. I was preaching, and this experience happened to me. If I say this to anybody, oh, it's the devil. Oh, what's going on? So I kept it quiet. But when I got back to the States, I made a call to Dr. Michael Sala, exopolitics.org. Uh, and I explained to him my experience. And from there on, I kept giving information to Dr. Sala what was happening to me after all these experiences. Because after that experience in MacDill in Tampa, Florida, I used to walk to work, and a white minivan picked me up, and three guys, they took me in, and they took me to a facility near MacDill Air Force Base, and they started interrogating me. sitting down saying, hey, we know what happened in Brazil. We want you to explain to us a little bit more about the full details of what happened to you in Brazil. I was like, how the, in my mind, I was like, how the heck they know, that this happened to me in Brazil. So, I kept getting picked up and taken to this and getting interrogated until I broke and I said, yes, this happened to me in Brazil. And I kept getting like downloads about building different types of technology. And I interacted with USF professors, scientists, and all that to build these devices and all that. My house got ransacked with these things that I built, and they took them away. I call these guys the black hats,
Yeah.
They're
JP, can I stop you for 1 second? Because I just want to clarify a couple of questions before we go too far.
Yeah.
When you were in Brazil at the farm, you said that you walked towards this triangular UFO. How big? It was like about the size of a minivan, you said?
like two minivans,
Like
the
two.
size of two minivans.
And was it still? Was it on the ground? Was it in the air? Like how were you able to touch it?
It was on the ground. It was
On the
it was
ground.
landed. You could see the legs. It's like connected to the wings. Like it's like a triangle, but the wings itself is what holds the craft from the floor. So it was an interesting looking thing, and it had markings on the corner similar to what people are finding on the Buga sphere. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Buga sphere that they found in Colombia.
Oh,
But
yeah. That was quite small, wasn't it?
yeah, it's a
Yeah,
small size of a beach ball, but
yeah.
it's similar writings on it, on the edges of the wings. But I didn't give it mind. I'm like, okay, this is a regular ship. Like,
Sure.
Can I just ask two quick questions? Were you in the military at the time? And did these people come and find you in this minivan after you spoke to Dr. Salah?
after I spoke with Dr. Sala, that's when
I was
they
going to
started
ask.
finding me, and I was not in the military. I was a civilian.
Okay.
I was working installing cameras for Lockheed Martin. Wasn't just like in the facility, and I think it was in Hillsborough, all going up to Sponge Docks. There's a facility of Lockheed Martin. I just did cameras there, and I didn't work inside the building, but just installing cameras on different things that they wanted.
So after you spoke to, now when you say you spoke to Dr. Michael Sala, you just had a conversation. You didn't actually go on his show, correct?
Was that on the
Yeah,
phone?
yeah. I had a conversation, and
Was that on the phone?
it was at the phone. It was on the
So
phone.
maybe he's being monitored and they picked up that call.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what exactly happened. When they found, I think that's what happened. But they knew more details than what I told Dr. Sala. So that's what really got me. They know when they know their stuff. They know their stuff. And then we got two types of people that were picking me up. We had a portion that was interrogating me, and then the portion that was telling me, hey, in this time we're gonna have something going flying up, and we want you to take your phone and take a video and take a picture. So those videos went to the Tampa Bay Times, and not videos, pictures that Dr. Michael Sal posted these pictures in their cigar-shaped ships with orbs. You can clearly see the orbs in frames coming out from the ship and just going around the ship. And this was, if you can look it up on the Tampa Bay Times, you can put Tampa Bay Times flying cigar ship UFO, and it's there. And they were talking about it in the radio and all that. I think Ep4, what's his name? He started talking about it.
Alex Jones.
Alex Jones.
Yeah, Alex Jones, in that time that they were over there in Tampa, I think. But I kept sharing the pictures with Dr. Sala. Dr. Sala kept posting these pictures because I got the green light to tell him to give these pictures to him. And I was like, oh crap, I'm getting in it. I'm gonna get in a load of crap. So I was getting followed by people telling me stop, but I was getting followed by other people telling me, hey, just freaking do it.
Oh.
And this was at the same time that the Trump administration was about to become the president.
This was back in 2016 time?
Yeah, when I was giving the pictures to Dr. Sala, but I've been talking to Dr. Sala since 2008 about my
Okay.
experience.
Oh, wow. Okay, so this is a long time.
Yeah.
And then when did you,
17
in the
years.
midst of all this, did you join the military?
So the white hats, they approached me and they said, "Hey, if you don't want to be bothered no more, you need to join the military." And I'm like, "Oh man, I don't know if I'm gonna do that." He says, "Hey, your uncle, he's in the military. He was in the military. He's a bomb inspector over there in Kentucky. You know, we know a certain family that served in the intelligence community in your family, so we want you to join the military." And I felt like not forced, but I felt like, man, I'm like, okay, so I felt like I had to do it for this country, you know. And I love this country, and it's not like it wasn't my bucket list, but I always wanted to serve the United States of America. So, my family are from Puerto Rico, and then they moved to New York, and I was raised in Middletown, New York, by Newburgh, Goshen, Port Jervis, that area over there, upstate.
Upstate, yeah.
So right now we know what's happening with Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico is becoming a whole military base. So it's amazing. Hopefully it becomes the 51st state of the United States of America. Hopefully it becomes, because I think there's a lot of things in Puerto Rico that, especially the south part of the ocean of Puerto Rico, they're finding a lot of different things that can change our view of humanity. That's another thing that is happening. I think the South, in between Venezuela and Puerto Rico, they're finding a lot of ancient ruins in these parts over there, and also in the Atlantic. And they're finding things in Ukraine too, by Oleski Sands. If you guys do the research on Oleski Sands, is a spot that is it's made of, it's only sand if you look at it on Google Earth, and they're finding stuff there too. So there's always something behind of what's happening.
Sure.
This nation, we know a lot, and we have technology that can pass probably 300 years more or 200 years more than other countries of the United States, of the world. And people do not want to mess around with us. They don't want to mess around with us because we have stuff that can change the face of the world. So if you live in the United States, you hit the jackpot. That's all I have to say. We have stuff that can change the world. So we got technology and we're working with other things that, some people might call the spiritual or interdimensional realm. But yes, I still believe in Jesus Christ. I still go to church. I still serve God because I believe there's an evil out there that we need to eliminate. And there's people out there doing bad, dealing with satanic stuff. And those people need to be eliminated off the face of the earth, But other than that, I joined the military 5 years ago. 5 years ago. And when I went to Fort Jackson for my training. I went to Fort Benning, Georgia for my airborne training. And they stationed me in Eglin Air Force Base. So my family still stayed because from Tampa, I moved to Orlando, and I kept getting experiences in Orlando, pictures and pictures of triangular ships. It's not only me that have these pictures. There's other people that have these pictures that they saw it also. And
So what do you, even though, you had two factions that were coming after you. You had kind of what you called the black hats and then the white hats, and then, the military, they basically said, hey, if you're with us, you want to stop being bothered by these other guys, join us. You did that. Do you have a sense, or am I going too fast, about what this encounter was and what this ship was and what it's about? And are you allowed to talk about that?
well, they kept telling me, oh, for the security of this country, you can't, you know, go into the details of how these things come or how they go or how they interact with certain people. Uh, but right now in Congress, they're talking about it. They have people with these abilities, and then implementing with the dog whistle these abilities, they can summon UFOs or UAPs. And I guess I was summoning without knowing because I had this contact in Brazil, and I think it awakened something in me that I can bring down these ships. So I guess the military figured that out, and they have this section, you know, in the military that we can summon these these beautiful ships, you know.
So the ship that came was a positive entity. Is that right?
For me, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But
And
there could be negative also. That's the
right.
thing. So
So did you feel scared at all in this, or when that happened?
so scared. So scared. You feel like you're not part of society no more.
Wow.
You start looking at things different. You start looking at your family different. You start looking at how you go to the grocery store. It's like, man, it's not really like this. You start when you start seeing different technologies, and you start seeing these things that I'm sure other soldiers, they see it, but when they talk about it, they cry and their eyes get watery. That's one of the reasons I put my sunglasses on, because I get emotional when I talk about these things.
So the feeling that it gave, it was like a all encompassing kind of a spiritual feeling that you got when you were close to
Yes,
this entity.
yes.
And did you see any beings, or it was just the energy that was coming off the the ship, if you will, or the
So when I came back here and I started, living through here through my dreams, I was reliving what happened in Brazil, and I saw these Nordic looking beings. Right, they have white hair, they have blue like tight suit, but it was not loose, but it was tight. It looked technological. It had lines of silver. I think the suit is a type of uh, AI that keeps their body, in great temperature, and it has technology that is way advanced. And these Nordics, they have been communicating with me, yeah, since that experience in Tampa, Orlando, and over here in Eglin. I have a big backyard. I already communicated twice with them there in my backyard.
like in
They
person?
they look a bit like that, JP.
Um, uh,
Uh,
a little
a
bit
little bit
more
more
pale,
pale,
but
but
yeah, they
yeah,
look
they look
similar to
similar
that.
to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and I clicked that up as well because I think that's the UFO spotted military in Florida, isn't it? But there's loads of sort of things like this, isn't there, that people are seeing and stuff.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And I did it on Braid first, but I just got loads of cigar shops coming up, so I'll shut that one down.
So when you say you communicated with them, was this a telepathic, or they came physically near you?
I'm sure they talk to you. They talk to me. You can see their mouth, but also they talk to you telepathic. I assume they have a technology that is similar to radio technology, that they can interact with your consciousness or the wave of your brain, and that technology lets them talk into your head and makes it looks like it's telepathic. Yeah, but I think it's a technology that they have that soon. I think uh, probably Elon Musk or Zuckerberg, they're going to come out with a technology already with just the movement of your hand gesture. You can talk, for sign language people, or just thinking about something, you can talk telepathically with other people. So that technology, it already exists in the military realm. Soldiers talking with each other, just using the mind without talking, because you have to be quiet in different places. So I think, yeah, they talk to you telepathically because it's a type of technology. It's not something, it's not like an ability. I think it's something that they connect or they have in their head that gives out a wave, and it's a language that you can translate already in your brain of their language. It's weird, but you hear the voices inside your head.
Weird. So I'm curious. I'm sure you're familiar because you've talked to and you've worked with Dr. Michael Salla. He interviews Elena Danaan a lot, and she talks about her experience as a little girl getting rescued, by what she believed were the Pleiadians or someone. Anyway, she talks about how the bad entities chipped her, and they weren't able to take the chip out because it would have damaged her. So they changed the frequency on it. And so she says how she's able to now communicate with them, with her thoughts, and they feel that. Do you feel that that was maybe some of the, like, what may have happened to you, or they're able to tune into, like, connect with your mind and theirs? That's kind of what you're saying, right? There's this connection now that you can talk to them and they can talk to you. I say talk, but where there's a transmission of thoughts and interchange.
I'm sure the experience of Elena Denan, uh, she talks to this guy named Thorhan,
Thorhan. Yeah.
and she has a communication device that's connected, I think, behind her ear, and she has this communication with him, and he gives her like all this good information about what's happening in our outer solar system. Yeah, I know about that, but it's similar. It's similar technology.
Okay.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So where does the story go from there?
So I joined the military, and then they take us to this. I join. I work for Eglin, and I'm working, and then they take us. They take us to this secure location, and they're selective people, but some of these people don't remember um, these missions, but some of these soldiers, they do remember. I still got communication with them, and they're like, "Yeah, I remember that happening, bro, but let's not talk about it." you know and there was one instant that I was living in the barracks because my family was still living in Orlando, and we went out in the base, and it was three of us. Actually, there was four, and we were walking by the field inside the base, and we see this triangular ship that flies over with ospreys, with two ospreys, and we were like looking at it, and we are like, "What the heck is that?" And our jaw just dropped. We were like, "Bro, we saw this, and they know we saw this. We were screwed." So we knew, like, we were in a base that real stuff happens. And we started going to these different missions, but it was in the time that everybody was covering their face because of COVID, these missions, so I couldn't recognize a lot of people. I sometimes went without the mask, but most of the time we went out to these missions, everybody was covered. I was taken to uh, a Black Hawk into the middle of the Atlantic. I know how many miles a Black Hawk can go, but I know we stopped before getting out from the state of Florida, and then we went into this like donut shaped Navy ship. that I never seen before. It's massive. It looks like a stadium. It's massive, freaking massive. And you have all these other ships that connects to it. Excuse me. And it had like a connection that connects. It's like an elevator that connects to the middle of the part of the ship. And the metal, it's flexible. So it doesn't, it's probably a metal that, or alloy that I haven't seen before. It was like a bluish silver color. And they say it was the toughest metal that we ever can create. And this ship has it. And it has like a little like tube elevator that you could fit like 4 or 5 people inside. And I remember going into a mission. I remember doing a mission, going into this massive arc that's in the Atlantic of the ocean. And they're all scattered. It's ancient technology that we have, that we know of. And apparently the Nordics are in charge of these now. Now they're in charge of these massive arcs that are in our oceans. And these massive arcs also is connected to other, not connected, but it's close to these underwater. I know this sounds far-fetched, and people are going to say, oh, yeah, this guy's nuts.
It doesn't sound far-fetched to me, and I'm sure not to Stu either.
I seen these things, and I seen these cities inside, and they're like so futuristic. And people ask, oh, so how do they hold the pressure of the ocean? I don't know. I'm not a scientist. I don't know how they hold these people down there. These people are different. They look like Nordics, but they're like a little bit taller. They're slimmer, and they live in our oceans. And also, I've been to these missions where I saw these people that look like they got big eyes, and they call them the ant people. Inside, like that's another mission I went to. And other soldiers, it's not only me, other soldiers have experienced this before. It's not just me. That's the thing. And soon, little by little, we're giving this information out about what's happening.
Yeah.
With these weird missions that we go to. And I'm sure around the world, it's not just us communicating with these beings. There's other governments around the world that are communicating with these beings. And it could be, for me, being a Christian background, this could be something spiritual, or something coming from the interdimensional realm that, now I believe in ETs. Yeah, I believe in ETs. But, if you read the Bible, and you put 2 and 2 together, you can, especially if you read Hebrews chapter 11, that it says that God separated the frames and the worlds from what you see and what you believe. So I think there's something. I think Jesus is coming back. That's what I think. It's weird. We're living weird times, and these beings are real. And some of them can be negative, and some of them can be positive, depending how you approach these beings. So
it's weird times, but it's exciting times, isn't it? If you're paying attention.
Oh yeah. The rebuilding of the temple in Israel and all that. Yeah, if you're Christian, these are the days that you're looking at are like, wow, we're living in the last days. And plus, all this is coming out in Congress. It's not me just talking about this. You got other soldiers coming out saying, hey, these things are real. Not too long ago, a couple months ago, a congressman said, yeah, we got 4 different alien species that we're interacting with. The Greys, the Nordics, and some other species that they talked about. The reptilians and some other species. But I think if you live in the United States, we're in good hands right now. you know.
What advice have you got for me in the UK then?
You guys are doing good too. The UK.
Yeah.
I've been there a couple of times. I went to Eastbourne. I'm actually gonna do a talk over there in Eastbourne.
Oh well, that's just down the coast from me. I'm in Kent.
Yeah, I'll invite you. You can be with me, and we can talk to each other, and I'll give you my number. And when I go over there in the UK, I'll connect you with
Yeah, superb.
the
Excellent.
person that is you know doing the event. It's a major event in the UK that we do. You can look it up. It's called GSIC. I don't know if you've heard of it.
How do you spell that?
Um, GSIC. And also this event in New York was amazing too. Oh my God, it was so with Donna. It was an amazing event.
So much information. So JP, I have like my brain is going so fast with so many questions. So let me getting back to the arcs, right?
Okay.
When you say missions, and of course we're not in the military, so these are like military terms. And maybe you can't talk about this for security reasons, but like why were you going there? Like why did they take you to the arc? Was there something going on that you needed to be there? Was there an interaction? Was there a planning? Like why did you have to go there?
I think the soldiers that do these missions, they have been through experiences before, or it's a generational thing. Because my dad, he also had an experience.
Okay.
My grandpa
Maybe like
also
a
had an
bloodline
experience.
thing, or
It's like a bloodline or a communication type of
Yeah.
deal. I don't know why. Like out of nowhere in Brazil, the country that's far from here, I have this first experience. But when I was small, I remember having an experience in upstate New York,
Oh.
following this orb into the woods in the middle of the snow, and I was in my underwears. And I came back all wet, never got pneumonia, nothing. I felt no coldness or no heat, but I did follow an orb. And this was my father. He's a pastor of a Jewish Messianic church. Okay. So he used to go to my room and pray. And I can literally see smoke coming out from the bottom part of the room. And when I open it, there was no smoke.
Wow.
So my father, he's really spiritual. And this orb, I followed it from my house to the woods, and the same thing happened. Everything was frozen. I closed my eyes, I opened my eyes, and I was back in my room, all wet.
Wow.
Because with the snow. So it first happened to me in upstate New York, but the full experience of touching the ship happened in Brazil when I went to visit and see my father-in-law for the first time.
Wow.
And then when we came back, it was so weird. My wife got invited to sing the national anthem for, I know people are not gonna like this, but she did it to honor this country and not honor the people that were gonna run. Okay. She sang for Hillary Clinton.
Okay.
Okay. So I remember when we came back from Brazil, boom, she got the opportunity to sing. And this was when she was running, and she came to Tampa running for presidency against Donald J. Trump. And then my wife said, I do not support this. I'm not a Democrat. I like Trump. And she told the person that she was going to sing the national anthem. I don't agree what Hillary's doing, but I will sing the national anthem. And my wife was actually talking with Hillary for like 25 minutes. Hillary was talking to my wife. And I keep asking my wife, babe, what did you talk about with Hillary Clinton? And my wife says, oh, no, nothing. We just talked about, babe, you were with her 25 minutes. What did you talk to her? Because they knew I was a Republican, and they did not let me get close to Hillary Clinton.
Wow.
The Secret Service kept me far. And I was like, I wonder if she's okay. I wonder if she's not being brainwashed or what's happening with her. So my wife, she sang the national anthem like she was in church. And I think they got mad because she sang it like Oh, say, can you see? She sang it like if it was church, and the whole crowd went crazy. And she made everybody cry singing the national anthem. And she sang, she got up, and we sat a little bit. And then when Hillary was going to go up, we left. We left because the next day was the rally with Donald J. Trump. Maybe we wanted to be there early. You know, I had a daughter, and she was like, Donald Trump. And I think she got approached to sing for the Donald Donald J. Trump, our commander in chief, but she didn't get the opportunity. I guess they saw her singing for Hillary and all that. They didn't want the confusion, you know.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
it is what it is, you know. But it's weird, the things that have happened in my life.
Yeah.
That I think other people go through it, but they're not allowed to talk to it. But I get the green light to talk about these things, and I do not know why I go to these missions, and I get the green light to talk about it because I'm scared out of my butt, because I got people following me all over the place. People are like telling me, hey, if you say anything else, you know. Just last week in Orlando, I got approached by two guys saying, hey, you got to stop talking. You got to stop talking. You know, it's not, you know, we know where your family is. We know where everything is. You got to stop talking for the security of this nation. So I felt they were good people, you know, telling me this.
Yeah.
But sometimes I believe that it's the negative also. You know, you get that, like, why they want me to stop talking about this information that the American people need to know. Like, for example, 2 weeks prior, before Trump put out a video about the med beds, in my channel, I posted something about the med beds. You can look at the dates. 2 weeks before, I posted something in my channel about the med beds. Then Trump posts something about the med beds. So I think Trump, you see these things that we do. I think he does. Hold on. Okay, my battery is getting low. Okay. I think he sees these interviews, you know.
I think they see everything. You know, they see everything.
He sees everything.
In Telegram, was it?
No, it's on JP1 on YouTube.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I do think they see everything.
You will go on, continue like to now. Do you still? You're retired, so the missions have ended. So now, I guess what I would call your mission is that they're giving you the freedom to talk about certain things and to, you know, awaken or confirm maybe to those of us who always believe these kinds of things. And
Yeah,
you're giving confirmation that our instincts and our research is right, even though we don't know the details specifically.
Yes.
So,
all this is real.
so I guess I'm so curious. I don't know about you, Stu, but I'm so curious about the arcs, because basically what you're saying is like, so are they like miles big? Like, is it almost like a city within an enclosed
There's
area?
different sizes of them, but yeah, they could be as big as 7 miles inside our
Wow.
oceans.
And
Yeah.
it's at the bottom of the ocean, or just like in the middle at the bottom?
Certain parts of our oceans that are, I think, in higher level, that it connects more to the ocean, because we got deep spaces like this, like I was talking about the south part of Puerto Rico. It's even a little bit more down. If you put the south part of Puerto Rico and you measure it to the top highest mountain of Puerto Rico, it's similar to the Marianas Trench. So that could tell you that's deep. That's really deep. So we got things down there that we know about that we can't talk about.
Okay.
Our biggest assets are under the oceans. That's all I can say.
Wow.
Well, we know there's a lot going on under the ground in tunnels and things, but I've always thought there's
Also under the ground.
so much more going on under the water. And I mean, how much have you seen in these Hollywood movies, etc.?
There's a heck of drip drops.
Telling us.
Yeah, there's drip drops. A lot of people know a lot of different stuff.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm sure these directors are directed to talk about and drip drop these informations. You know, all these TV shows, the Star Trek, or the Gate one, Stargate, all these science fiction things are like so real. Like, there's things out there, technology that I've seen in movies. I'm like, oh my god, it's real. You know?
Yeah.
It's like,
movies are real, the news is fake.
Yeah. You're gonna give me a minute. I need to get a plug.
Yeah, go
to
ahead.
my computer real quick.
No problem. I'm just gonna get back to it.
Hope you guys are enjoying this, because I find it fascinating.
Yeah, same as.
It's so crazy, right? So it's just like, so I guess what goes through my head is I want to talk to him. Like, you have these, we don't exactly know what they're doing, but from what JP is saying is they feel benevolent.
Yeah.
So you have to wonder how they're working with us in a benevolent way and what they're bringing. You know, maybe that's where a lot of the technology is coming from. You know, when we start talking about a lot of like healing things, or just the takedown that we've been witnessing, right? Like that they've maybe, they've been helping us and guiding us, to regain our freedom and our sovereignty here on this planet. I was just saying that it makes you wonder, with what's been going on over the last, 10 years, probably much longer, that these entities which you feel are benevolent, like, what are they doing? How are they helping us? What's the technology they're helping us with? How are they instrumental at this point, in helping us regain the planet and the sovereignty that we're meant to have, right? And ward off the evil entities and beings. And it would seem like so much of the last number of years, with all we've seen, the evil side of things, and then knowing that we're in this war to fight against that, it appears we have help. So I have a question, and I don't know if you can answer this, but we've got this whole situation going on in the water and underneath the water. And then we've all tried to decode, right, a gazillion different meanings to watch the water, right? Like there's so many things, right, like that it could refer to. But what do you think about the sky and whether they're above us too? Do you think that's also the case, like, that they're all around us?
So I was talking to my friend Emery Smith. I don't know if you guys know him. He's an Air Force doctor.
Okay.
He has one of the biggest shows on Gaia TV,
right?
Cosmic Disclosure. And he was ex-military. He has under his belt a lot of aliens autopsy that I think soon he's going to be approached, also talking in Congress about this stuff. But I believe we're talking, and there's like 3-eye atlas, for example, that everybody's talking about, that's doing perihealing right now in our sun, and it's showing blue color. That means it's nickel coming out. And we got another one coming in that's way bigger than 3-eye atlas, called Swan. It's like 3 times bigger, apparently. And then we have 740 other objects coming in our solar system in the same time. Okay. Something big is about to happen. And it's not only the United States, it's around the world. And all these peace treaties are for a reason. Okay.
Yeah.
And we're getting ready for something big, but there's some people that don't want this to happen. I'm talking about the people that still want power. They don't want this. Technology is advancing so fast. AI, I believe it was a gift from them. Cell phones was a gift from them. Technology, what was 30 years ago? A cell phone was the size of a VCR. You
Right.
remember those big
Huge.
cell phones?
Yeah.
And now we can talk. We could talk. We have the whole encyclopedia. We got the whole information in our phone.
Yeah.
I always say this in my talks. If you grab a cell phone, right, and you go to the Amazon rainforest and you give it to an Indian, what do you think they will see you like?
Like a god.
Like a god. They won't know how to download applications. So there's technology that they give us that we don't comprehend, we don't understand yet. Because it's like giving a cell phone to an Indian. They won't know what it is. They will probably break it before making it work just to see what it is.
Sure.
Yeah, well, this is
So-
what obviously you talked about Star Trek and stuff like that, and I've said before that you cannot. In a lot of Star Trek episodes, they'll sit above a planet, cloaked and stuff like that, and they can't interfere too much with that planet's development. You can't just come down for people lighting rubbing sticks together to make fires and just give them this technology. It has to be done slowly. This is why this is drip, 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 and a long, long rollout, I believe.
But right now we're living in a time that we need to upgrade really fast.
Yes.
And they see that because there's other beings. It's not just the Nordics. There's other beings involved. There's interdimensional. There's spiritual. There's things involved. So they're trying to ramp up technology like crazy, especially with this AI. AI are doing shows like this. AI could take 3 artificial people and make a show like this out of nowhere.
Yeah.
AI can make music right now. AI can you could take an AI and put it in church and it could bring a beautiful sermon.
Mhm.
It's when we see them going into like robotics that's going to make more changes and all that. So technology is going to be in the next 2 or 3 years in the Trump administration. Technology is going to be advancing so much, like so fast. And make sure you have gold, make sure you have your Rolexes, make sure you have your silver, because I think we're going back to those type of currency and invest in digital currency as well, because that's where we're heading, and it's when people find out, I can't say as much, but when people find out about these beings that they live among us, they can see us, but we can't see them. That's when you got to get into the Bible, because there's people believe in spiritual beings, right? Since the beginning dawn of man, people believe in spiritual beings, evil and good beings, that good angels and bad angels, right?
Yes.
I believe there's bad angels out there influencing people to do bad things. And everything is frequency. If you study quantum entanglement and quantum physics, everything is light frequency. There's 60 types of light frequencies that we can't see with our naked eye that other animal species can see, that we can see. Dogs. Sometimes dogs, they look at the wall and we're looking at them and we're like, "What are you seeing, boy? What are you looking at?" Because they see certain light frequencies that we can't see. Some people say they see white and black, but they see other frequencies that we can't see. So they can see beings that we don't see.
Cats too.
Cats too.
Yeah.
Other animals.
And they
can
jump over, like you've heard stories of, like if somebody died or it was in the house, and then all of a sudden the cat is jumping over, and you're like, "What's this cat doing?" But that spirit is there, but we can't see it. But they know.
So there's going to be a lot of study coming out soon about what is consciousness and what happens when you die. Okay, so a lot of people believe that you just die and that's it, but you leave a vibration of yourself in all the places that you have been, and this this truth is going to come out soon in the science community, that when you die, you still leave a reflection of yourself, and yourself can be still moving. And this is where the interdimensional realms come in. How many realms intertwine with our realm? How many of you it's quantum entanglement. You got to get into the science of it.
Yeah.
You know, what Marvel just did something about this. They did a movie about this, about the interdimensional realm. Oh, we have to go back to this in this realm to fix this up in order for this realm to get fixed up.
Yes.
Doctor Strange, you know,
It's
all this is
freaky.
real.
It's like
Yeah.
freaky because it goes into things that you can't grasp. You have to kind of like ground yourself to get into it, right? I think it was the movie with Matthew McConaughey. I can't go Intergalactic. I don't remember what the name of the movie is. I'm getting it wrong, but he was on a different frequency. He could see his daughter, but
Oh
they
yeah.
couldn't see him. But then when he stayed away for like what was an hour for him was like 30 years. Like you right? It's very hard to grasp that. So what do you think? And again, we're respectful of what you can and can't talk about, but like, let's just take one technology in particular. You spoke already about the idea of the digital currencies, the gold, the silver, but what about like the medical community? What's your opinion about what the real deal is with the med beds and the ability for us to heal and get out of this world of petroleum based pharmaceutical that we've been in for the last 100 and some odd years, and start to, and of course a lot of that's spiritual too, right? Because understanding how we do have the capacity to heal ourselves. But where do you think that all is? I know at the New York event we were talking about that there was some trolling going on with Trump, putting that truth out for 12 hours, and then all of a sudden he took it down. So like, was he giving a little bit of information to the people? Was he trolling the bad guys? Like, it's 5D chess. So what are your thoughts just based on your experience and what you know?
I also been on these med beds. They have it in Eglin Air Force Base and other bases around the world. I have been on these med beds, and it's a beautiful experience. I feel like I was 20 years old when I got out from these med beds. So I have experienced these med beds, and that's what I posted in my YouTube channel before even Trump posted it, about my experience. And other veterans and other soldiers have been going through these med beds, but it's not just the med beds. Over there in Japan and Osaka, scientists have found a pill that can reverse the stem cell of humans and make humans last 250 years. They're doing that study right now. So it's not just the med beds. There's also medication that is based on different blood types. So depending on your blood type, that's what kind of food your body needs. So if you're a B positive, you need to look at the blood types that your B positive blood types take. Like if you can't eat fish, or you can't eat certain grains because it's bad for your body. So I think the blood type is also depending throughout history where the region of your ancestors used to live and the food that they used to live. So that's why some people live longer than other people, because they're eating their blood type. That's why you see people that are like, for example, if you go to like France, you go to certain cities that people are like 120. Why? Because they never leave that city. They never leave that. They're always eating the same thing according to their blood type, and they live longer. So you need to look at your blood type and what kind of food your blood type need. That's why soldiers got dog tags, and we have the blood types on it. So there's certain science that a lot of people don't know about behind the scenes, that I think people, if they start studying more about their blood type, start studying more about certain frequencies that their body's receiving, certain, also the energy of people, negative people. Stay away from negative people. Everything carries a frequency, and this science is real. Tesla was talking about this, and they took everything away from him, and he just probably got killed. But
So we think.
uh, but it's the technology of the science of vibration, the science of light. Also, we're finding out research that certain light frequencies can kill cancer cells if you put it in a frequency that is connected to the cancer cells. It can kill it right away. So we don't see what's in our insides. In a couple of years, we're going to have devices that we can carry and see what's wrong inside our body. Oh, look, there's something wrong there. Okay, we can treat it. That knowledge, we're going to get it. Right now, we don't see what's inside our body, but there's going to be technology out there that we're going to be carrying devices that can see inside our body. And the airports, TSA, they can see inside our body right now. So imagine in the future with the technology that we're going to carry that can see what something's wrong, or I got a blood clot. Okay, I got to fix this right here. I can see it.
Yeah.
So,
and how far away do you think we are from that? Like years, decades?
No, I think we're years. I think we're, for certain things, I think we're months, because
Really?
there's going to be a lot of new technology with AI implemented into it. So it's gonna already AI can tell if somebody's lying or not. Grok with Elon Musk already can tell. It's so advanced that with certain features about your face, it could tell if somebody's lying or not.
Wow.
And the frequency of how you talk and say things also can tell if you're lying or not. So the intelligence community, where we have these technologies. You see all these forensic file shows, all these shows that you see, we're like probably 150 years more advanced of finding somebody that did bad, so it's
so
amazing.
What do you think they're waiting for? And I don't mean this negatively, like, like some people like, it's taking too long. I don't mean that at all. But what point do you think we need to get to where they're going to release it? Is there a bar that the majority of humans need to be at? Or are we waiting for the frequency to raise even more? Like, what do you think is the linchpin to start bringing these things out?
We're trying to get rid of these negative people. That's the thing, because look what happened. Like, for example, if I know we threw the bomb in Japan, but that technology, atomic energy, was going to be used prior from turning it into a weapon. Okay, so all these technologies, new technologies, they have implemented new things that if it falls in the wrong hands,
right?
If this technologies fall in the wrong hands, it can kill a lot of people or maybe destroy the world. So we have to be careful how we release these technologies, because we don't want these technologies to fall in the wrong hands. If it falls in the wrong hands, that's it. Humanity is done. That's why Elon Musk is trying to go to Mars. Because if we have two planets that have life, if something goes wrong here, we still have a plan B, So I think we're still hesitant because there's still bad people out there. Okay. Imagine if this technology falls in the hands of Maduro or Kim Jong Rocket Man, what would happen if they grab this technology?
Yeah. And I think that's the frustration I get sometimes with people that just keep saying, the financial system has to change, the financial system, but you don't want them. That's the whole point of what we've been trying to do, is to defund and take them down so they can't control this. But if the bad guys are still there, the bad forces, you don't want that out until we're clear.
So our president is so genius. He's running a test right now with the government shutdown, and everybody's going crazy already. It's a Democrat's fault that all this is happening, but this is a test. Look, there's a government shutdown. They're not getting funds, and everybody's going crazy. Imagine if we do change the currency, what would happen? How crazy it will get? Because if you change the currency, it's not attacking just the government agencies. It's attacking everybody.
Right.
It's attacking even the civilians that never served in the military. You know, so I think this is a run test of the government shutdown of what would happen. You know, if they do change the currency. So it's.
This is
I
why I
think.
think all these sting operations are just going on all the time, because like they're trying to catch everyone with who's not benevolent, you know, this negative entity and criminality and psychopath and things like that, so that when they do release all this stuff, they're all mopped up, taken out of it. And don't forget as well, you talking about light and stuff. Trump said, didn't he, in the 2020 presser, I mean, about COVID, of talking about putting light into the body and all these things. You know, the mainstream media brushed it off, and we said drink bleach and all this sorts of stuff. But we were listening and paying attention.
Yeah.
He's told us everything. He's
Already.
always told us everything.
Already.
Whether you hear it or you listen or you pay attention determines whether or not you know it. And you're waiting, you know, you're just waiting for everything to start to be, let's say, more obvious, right? I mean, we're all on the same page with the excitement. And it's funny because I'm sure you have that experience where you talk to people that are not aware and they're very doom and gloom. And you say to them, we're living in the best of times and things are going to be great. And they look at you like you're nuts. Like, what are you talking about? And you're like, no, just wait. I promise you'll see. Because you can't get into all this. It sounds so nutty if you haven't done your research and your homework and have an open mind, mostly have an open mind. Wow. So anything else that, like, I just love when you tell us all these things that you're experiencing and doing.
I think times are going to get better with technology. With this administration, also in the UK, around the world, you know, make Earth great again.
Exactly. This is a worldwide military operation. Obviously, we're talking about Q and stuff a lot, but
you know, and Trump was not too long ago with King Charles. You know, who knows what they talked about? You know, and I'm sure they cut a couple deals that is going to be beneficial for the UK and the United States as well. So, you know, I know you guys in Europe are going through tough times with these immigrations. You know, all these people coming in and invading your land and doing their own rules and all that. It's tough. It's tough with you guys for doing that. But I think we're all heading the right way. I think we're all heading the right direction. You know, I know we have all these wars grooming and we have this thing happening with Russia and Ukraine. We got this thing popping up over here in Venezuela. But there's things behind the scenes that things need to happen in order to things to occur in the spiritual realm and interdimensional realm and the realm that we live in, that we see physically. And I think what's going to happen soon, new technologies are going to change how we see humanity. That's one. Contact with ETs, or you want to call them ocean people, whatever you want to call them, it's going to happen. And they've been interacting with us for thousands of years, especially the area. I'm going to tell you this. I don't know if this never was out there, in the area of India. India, you know, all that. And in the area of North America, United States, and Mexico also, and the whole Caribbean, also that area. So we have a big part. The United States have a big part because we found the most stuff. That's the thing. And the UK also have helped the United States, and they're really involved. And Israel is also really involved too with us. They're finding things that are blowing. Not too long ago, I think I just posted this in the Devil's Tower. They're finding similar structures to what they found under the pyramid. You know, so and they're finding these structures also in Venezuela, South Venezuela. These structures in the bottom, and apparently, Maduro wants to destroy these structures, and we're not going to let that happen. You know, that's another thing that's happening. So,
there's pyramids all around the world, isn't there? You know,
we got what?
They are everywhere.
We got the step pyramids in Mexico. We got pyramids in one of the lakes in China. We got pyramids in Egypt. We got pyramids in Brazil. We got pyramids in the Atlantic, Pacific. And it's just, there's going to be a major shift soon.
I can't wait for it. Just rip the Band-Aid off. And let's
It's going to be a major shift. And we need to be ready also, because.
Can I just ask you what I've just written that down about, obviously a lot of scientists talk about junk DNA and how we're not using our full potential and stuff. And there's going to be some sort of cosmic event and a sunflower or something like that is going to reinvigorate everyone's DNA. But can you just talk about that for a minute, what you know about that?
Like I said, when I went into the military, they found out that I had abilities that I didn't understand how I can summon these ships. And I think everybody has the ability to summon these Nordics, or these, if you want to call them angels, angelic beings, and interact with them. But you have to be careful how you do it, because you can also summon whatever, Lucifer or the Satan or whatever, you negative beings. So you have to know a certain way how to do it. But I think AI is going to help us with that. Well, it's going to unlock like different meditations or different. Look at the Tibetan monks. They can live in 20-degree weather without wearing jackets and all that. That's a state of mind that they have developed that other people around the world haven't developed yet. Certain also medicines or medicinal plants that you can ingest that helps you energize certain parts of the brain that you haven't controlled before. Like for example, ayahuasca. That it enlightens a portion of the brain that you never heard before. So I think when people get into the blood types and what you can eat and certain frequencies that your ear hears or your eyes see, people are going to realize more potential of what you could use in your brain. There's other abilities that people can do that, like psychic abilities is true. It interlocks with the spiritual realm. People knowing, like, I know friends that they can blindfold themselves and you can go to the other room and you can touch an object and they know what object you touched.
Yeah.
They know what object you touch. And that's remote viewing. That ability exists. The military uses it. The intelligence community, they use that ability. They hire people to remote view certain other people, but other countries, they use that too. So it's like a war within a war within a war within a war within a war. And then on top of that, you got the ETs or extraterrestrials and UFOs interacting with us. So it's a big show. It's a big wow. It's when people realize behind the scenes what's happening, it's going to shock a lot of people. It's going to shock a lot of religions. When this information, I can't say as much, but I get happy when I talk about it because it's going to shock a lot of people and it's going to be good the way it shocks people. It's not going to be negative. It's going to help people grow.
Do you think that there were like the military and the good guys, Trump and the good guys, do you think they are, aside from the fact that we have to clean up the bad, right, and get that out of the way, just put that aside. Mm-hmm. Do you think they're also concerned about the ability for people to mentally and emotionally digest what is really going on? Like, do you think they're also worried that people are going to flip out because it goes against everything, even if it's good, it just goes against everything they were raised with, right? And people could have breakdowns. That has to be part of the equation, right?
It's the same thing example that I gave you about the phone in the Indian.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing. One day we're going to receive, that cell phone, and we're going to be like, Okay, so this was what's happening. This is how you work it. This is how, you know, um, oh, it's gonna there, there's always worriness. Yeah, there's worriness.
Yeah.
How people are gonna receive this information, but you know what? It's gonna happen.
Hmm.
So,
That's
uh,
why it's
and
taken
yeah,
such a long
we,
time, isn't
yeah,
it? And
we need.
see, so that when people do find out, well, number one, they're going to know someone crazy was talking about that. They're going to know who to come and speak to, aren't they? And number two, it's going to be easier for them to digest. If you throw a bucket of cold water in someone's face, but if you do it slowly, and this is what this is all about. A lot of people saying to me, blackpilling and stuff. Well, I just want to see arrests and will it hurry up and stuff like that. It can't. It's been gamed out and gamed out and gamed out, hasn't it?
Little by little. Yep. Drip drop.
So
Yeah.
talk to us about the love, because that was part of what was in our title. Like, I want to hear what what that means. Like when you said that was part of what you were talking about. What's the love part of it?
It's all about the love frequency. We need to love our neighbors, go to church, worship Jesus Christ, get into the spiritual realm, pray, take care of your body. If you love your body, you love your neighbors. Uh, Always be nice. There's always somebody watching. That's what I'm trying to say. In like in your room, you probably have, other beings watching you.
Hmm.
So it's kind of scary when you hear that, right? Like in your room right now, you probably have other beings watching you and watching everything that you do, and I think that's going to be a shocker when we have
Benevolent
devices,
beings?
huh?
Benevolent beings?
We got good and bad beings looking at us,
Okay.
okay? And there's a battle for our soul.
It's like the devil and the angel that we used to see in the cartoons, right?
So, humanity have been talking about that for thousands of years, so it's true. It's true. When people realize that we can have devices that can see these beings walking around, and these beings realize that we're watching them, it's going to be a shocker for a lot of people. I think I said too much. But um yeah, there's always show love. There's always somebody watching. Always somebody watching.
Wow.
And do good. Don't do nothing negative that can make other people cry. It's going to come back to haunt you, you know?
Yeah.
Karma is real.
Yeah. Oh,
So
yes. I
it's
think you're going to find out.
that's why I say love. You need to show love everywhere you go. And when you do something good, there's always something looking. Always something looking.
But that's an
Always.
interesting concept, because part of what the bad forces have done throughout the ages is to teach us not to love ourselves,
Mhm.
because we have to love ourselves first so we can give that to other people. And so many people are broken because whether it's through the structured religions, whether it's through the indoctrination in schools, whether it's through the TV, the messages, right? All these things that don't teach people and young children and everyone that they have to love themselves. They're taught that it's selfish. And there's a difference between being all about yourself versus loving yourself, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's also the thing. Like, you can't just love other people without first having that love for yourself. And then you want to share it, right? You feel good and you want other people to feel good too.
Of
I think
course.
that's really important for people to start to understand this journey and this battle with good and evil. You have to look inside and say, like, I'm good and I love myself, and I'm a good person, and then you want to share that.
Yeah.
A lot of empty people out there because they don't feel love for themselves.
And the Bible says that in the last days, uh, technology will be so advanced and the love of people will grow cold. The Bible says that.
Wow.
The love of people will grow cold because right now you see everybody in their phones. Back in the 80s and 90s, we used to be eating in the same table and everybody talks about their experience and all that. But right now, you go to a restaurant, everybody's on their phones.
Yeah.
Nobody's talking to each other. The love of many is growing cold. And the lies that the fake, media is giving out, it's terrible. It's changing the view of love. It's changing the view of marriage. It's changing the view of family, you know. And I think if you put love first, and if you analyze that, if you put love first, and you treat people with love, with care, with respect, I think the world is going to be a better place. So that's why I always say that in my talks, you know. Um, Always love each other, and I love you guys. Thank you for having me here. You guys are
Love you
amazing.
too.
We were thank you. So much love for you and so much respect and your bravery and how you served our country. And just the fact that you're going out there and you're telling everyone about these experiences and trying to raise the vibration. You're just wonderful. You're a wonderful person.
Yeah, I concur. You know, you can. I say this to people all the time, that you don't want to look in the mirror with arrogance or anything like that, but you need to love yourself, because that's how you can love others.
Yeah.
And that's how you can spread this positivity, you know, and raise the vibration of people around you.
Yeah. It's all about the love. It's
This
all
was
about
so-
the love.
This was so great. Thank you. Thank you so much. And you're off traveling again?
Well, now I'm taking a rest.
Good.
You know, I'm going dark in certain ways, just to give time to other things to happen. You know.
Yeah.
For the security of this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful country that we live in, and the UK too, man. You guys have a beautiful country. I went over there, and I visited where the Cotswolds.
Cotswolds, yeah.
Oh my God, that's an
Beautiful.
amazing area over there. Oh my God, I went to like a golf course, and I went to like this restaurant, the steak. Oh my God, you guys do good steak up there. So yeah, I'll be there in Eastbourne, probably September. So I'll give you a call. I'll tell Elisa to give you my number.
That's the 25 event, is it? Is it that one?
Yeah.
That was the 25 event.
Yeah,
but
the
the
2026
2026 coming up.
Yeah. So it's September next year. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna make a little trip to that, definitely. But we shall connect and all that. Where can people find you, JP? Because
they can find me on jp.missions in Instagram.
Yeah.
Also, I got a channel on YouTube, JP1.
Yeah.
I'm also on X. I think it's jp.missions as well. You can find me there. And yeah, other than that, I got a Patreon too, that people, give their support and all that. And I, sometimes put my information there. But yeah, I'm mostly more in like on Instagram and YouTube. Every 7 to 8 days, I put out something on YouTube. So
Excellent.
Excellent. I can find that. I've been banned from Instagram twice, so I'm not going on there a third time.
Well, hopefully we're trying to put together now. Stu's going to be coming into New York in the spring, so we're going to be doing the Awakening Summit 2, if you will, with Donna and myself, and we're in the planning stages. So hopefully we'll see that maybe that's something we could get you to again.
I'll be there. 100%.
Conversation. Yeah, I think it would be wonderful. And again, God bless you, and thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much. Akuria Mate. I forgot to tell people what that means. That means heaven to earth. Akuria Mate. Much love to you guys. And
beautiful. And right back at you. I've just put a little 8-minute outro video on here. It's I've just set up my new stewsnews.uk website, and this video is on there on my intro page. But I think it's a perfect video of what we've been going through and what is to come to finish, if you want to sit there and watch it. Much love, guys. That's brilliant. I've really enjoyed that, JP. Thank you, mate.
JP out.
Take care.
We're moving from dark to light. This is the Great Awakening. People of the world have woken up, and the light has shined on the darkness, and the darkness cannot hide from it. All the darkness can do is panic. All of the systems the darkness had in place to control us are going to crumble. The fear, the corruption, the greed, the wars and rumors of wars, the hate, the technology, media propaganda, the child trafficking, and the slave economy. All of these control systems will crumble down. The darkness will collapse in only a few countries at first, but other countries will soon follow. We will unite against the dark. How will it be walking into the light after thousands of years of darkness? It's game over for the darkness. Are you ready for the light? Welcome to the new Earth. go one, we go all.